All right, so now we're going to actually be talking about leading edge. So we've hinted at it a lot so far, but now we're actually going to talk about it because this, I think, is a very important idea and a very useful tool in regards to beating frames. So we'll talk about this. We talked about moving our shoulders, and this is kind of displaying this idea of leading edge. However, let's talk about it a little bit more specifically. So understand that leading edge is an idea introduced to me by Rob Bernacki, where it was originally a defensive tool for guard retention, where if Lynn wants to retain guard, he has to interpret which part of my body I'm driving in with. Because let's say I'm driving with my left shoulder, he frames on my right shoulder, not very useful. So he should frame on my leading edge, so the part of my body I'm leading with, right? This is appropriate for him to frame on. However, what I can do in this situation is actually change my leading edge to force my partner to reallocate their frames, which will eventually help me break through. Break through. So from here, depending on where my partner's framing, I can either look to, let's say he's framing on one shoulder, I can drive in with the other. I feel like he's framing with both shoulders, then I can start looking to use my forearms, etc., etc. And this kind of dives a little bit into the realm of turning frames into levers, which we'll talk about later. But understand that what we can use as our leading edge isn't just limited to shoulders. We can use our head, right? Let's say he's framing, right? Frame. I can use my head to beat a frame. I can use my forearm. I can use frame. I can use my knees, etc., etc. And he frames on the knees, maybe he tries pushing away. Then I can come in chest to chest, etc., etc. So this idea of leading edge is a very useful tool because then you can kind of interpret what part of my body is my partner framing on and which part of my body is he not. And then you can kind of think about, okay, what are some ways that I can use the part of my body he's not framing on and look to progress position and not even get to a pass, but create a threat that he has to react to. And off of that, we can kind of then predict what will happen and then go into our attacks.